You're watching Drake Wing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Guys and gals, now we're here from Drake Wing Gaming, and stepping down on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you on Let's Play episode of Kingsguard, Koshiro's Path. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. I think a little slap might be okay in this regard, just to get him to, come to his senses and such. Yelling might hurt his pride. A punch is just abusive. Let's do yell and see what happens. Koshiro! Your voice became sore from the intensity of your shout, and the birds all flew from the area. Koshiro lost his focus, nearly tripping over his feet as he took off. His ears were pressed down flat against his scalp, yet every hair on his body was straight and stiff as a rapier. He had gotten through to him, snapped him out of his nightmare, and brought him to, and likely damaged one of his senses. While he put a hand up to soothe your aching throat, Koshiro rubbed it at the outside of his ear. Perhaps you were a bit too loud, but he left you with no other choice, though now you were suffering as well. He looked down on the ground where Koshiro had dropped the food that he had brought back with him from the village and bent down to salvage what was left. Koshiro was still looking a bit dazed. Your voice must have also rattled his skulls and brain cells like a bell. Soon he had retrieved all that you could and heaved the surprisingly heavy basket in your hands. He noticed you finally with saddened and embarrassed eyes. Jake, Speak no more. His hand moved towards the basket, but you yanked it away. I can carry it. Let's just head back inside. You moved on ahead, but it took a moment before you could hear Koshiro dragging his feet. Koshiro remained silent as he relit the fire in the hearth and re-prepared all of breakfast. You weren't even hungry anymore after all that had happened, but you needed to do something to distract you. And from the look of what Koshiro was going through, he needed it too. While he was now shaking a lot less, you could still feel he was very tense. You offered your assistance, but he denied it. Though things nearly got out of hand, you could understand why he was so upset. Even you were furious at Hyusuke for the way he treated you not only today, but yesterday as well. And the way he kept badgering Koshiro, too. You made a promise that the next time you caught him talking bad about Koshiro, you would not hold back. He was a little boy that needed to be punished. While Koshiro looked to be more calm now and focused on the food, you still caught him stealing glances out the window, looking for the wolf who ruined the start of what should have been a peaceful morning. Koshiro had claimed that the Elder forbade Hyusuke from being here, but you couldn't figure the reason. Sure, the two of them were complete opposites like fire and water, but what purpose would it serve when Koshiro would have had to leave his home anyway to get food and other supplies from the village? Koshiro was forced to wear a mask for his own protection around the villagers, so perhaps this location was designated as some kind of haven for him. A place where he could remove his mask without worry the villagers bothering him. But if that was the case, then why did you feel like it was specifically Hyusuke that was prohibited from stepping foot here? The question swarmed your mind, but you knew better than to bring it up and restoke the fire. Speaking of fire, though, you noticed that the pot of porridge was already beginning to burn again as Koshiro stirred slower, his eyes once more focusing on the trees outside. So again, y'all, water time. Alright, guys and gals, and we are back. Let's go ahead and jump right back in, shall we? Okay. You put your hands on his and aided him in stirring the porridge. Huh? I know that we have extra rice, but we don't want it to burn again and start over, do we? Right. I'm sorry. I should be paying attention. You grabbed the ladle from Koshiro and shooed him away. Jake, I think it turned out really good. It certainly smells even better than the last batch. Should almost be done now. Could you grab the other dishes and set them on the table and get us some bowls so I can serve? He must have been in a really bad spot, I protest. You expected to at least hear him say, I can't let you do that, your majesty, or even a king shouldn't have to be bothered with such work, but no. Instead, he compliantly walked away from the pot and did as he was told, his tail dragging behind him on the floor, picking up dust and who knew what else. You kept your eyes on him as he slowly set the table, his shoulders slumped and eyes down. He looked into the dishware so deeply you thought he was simply staring straight into a bottomless well. Koshiro? I think it's ready if you want to bring the food over. Right. You pulled him out of his stupor, but he still had a dumbfounded look across his face. As he brought the bowls back, he once more tried to reach for the ladle, but you instead scooped up a large helping and waited for him to bring his bowl closer. I can't... Come on, stripping. Carefully, he brought his bowl closer and you gave him several large helpings. Probably more than enough than you could eat. Go ahead and sit down. I'll be right over. He said no more as he sat down and stared at his plate of food. You finished helping yourself a hearty portion and also took a seat. With everything set, food steaming hot, the room a stew of unique and wonderful smells, you'd already forgotten about the shake-up with Hayusuke. You scooped up a bit of the porridge to start, blew on it to cool it down, but right before it reached your lips, Koshiro spoke up. Jake! You wanted to ignore him until he took a bite of food. Good food always cheered people up, and hopefully it would have been enough to get him out of the dumps. But his eyes looked at yours longingly that you put down your spoon. Yeah? Here. You thought he had something important to say, but instead he grabbed out what looked like a jar of preserved fruits and placed one of the lumpy reddish pieces into your bowl. You stared at it a bit, confused, completely expecting something else. What's this? It's a pickled plum. They are a sort of staple here in the village. Huh. It's good. Well, if you say so. You sniffed it for good measure, then plopped the entire fruit in your mouth in a single bite. Immediately your cheeks puckered as your mouth was filled with salty and tangy flavors that helped balance out the slightly sweet, buttery taste of the porridge. You shook your head at the sudden rush, and Koshiro looked concerned. Are you alright? Yeah, I just wasn't expecting it to be so strong. I'm sorry, I should have told you to take smaller bites. Well, it was good at least. Though now I'll have to eat more of the porridge to even the taste. You quickly shoveled your face full of more food, and Koshiro looked on, his bowl untouched. Alright, coffee done. Jake, you looked up with cheeks full of food. Thank you. If you hadn't have stopped me, I might have done something I would have regretted. You quickly swallowed. It's just as he said. I really can't control myself. This is who I am. A monster unable to keep my emotions in check. Even you might not be safe from me. How can I hope to protect you when any moment I might end up turning on you? You're not going to turn on me. Those claw marks on your arm were because of me, and I was honestly thinking of pushing you to the ground just to get to Hayusuke. You rubbed at your arm, which was now scabbed over. What kind of protector hurts his king? Sorry. What kind of protector hurts his king? I openly disobeyed you as well, even growled at you. Leandros, he's who was supposed to be your guardian. He's always done such an amazing job of keeping you safe, while I... Ha! That's rich. What? Listen, Leon may have been Kingsguard, but he was far from the best. I mean, look at how many times I've managed to elude him. And he's done way more damage to me than you ever have. I can't count the number of bruises I've gotten from him when he decided to go all out when we sparred. Besides, he's not here now, is he? We only have you now, and contrary to what you believe, you've done a great job so far. I'm safe now, aren't I? Twice now you've driven Hayusuke back. Something that I don't think I could have done myself. But still. Alright, let me ask you a question. Have you ever hurt me? Huh? In all the years that we have known each other, can you recall one time that you have ever harmed me? Well, there's now. Okay, a time before that then? I'm sure there must be... You can't think of one, can ya? No, it's actually quite the opposite, isn't it? I'm the one who has caused you pain in the past. Not once have you ever struck me, ever caused me any kind of pain. People change all the time. Do you truly believe that you will end up hurting me, or are you just that convinced by Hayusuke's words? I understand what you went through. You told me everything. I only told you what I felt that you should have known. If only you knew the things that I have done. You mean the things my father likely ordered you to commit? What you've done in the past is your deal, and I don't care. None of it would change my mind anyway. I don't know how many times I have to say it, but I will keep saying it until you start believing in me. I trust you. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for you. Now if we're done, hurry up and eat before your food gets cold. You scooped an even larger helping of porridge and shoved it into your mouth. It burned a little bit, but you fought through the pain. Koshiro just stared at you dumbfounded. You could hardly believe it yourself. Part of you was getting frustrated at him. All he had done so far since the coronation is doubt himself, and if he wasn't gonna shapen up, then it would have to be up to you. You almost felt like his parent. Koshiro couldn't break his gaze away from you, even when your eyes met with his cheeks full of food. It was a bit unnerving, really. You thought he looked like he was about ready to leap out of his seat to tackle you, but he stayed put. What? Food nearly slipped out of your mouth, but still his eyes were locked onto yours, as though he was admiring a piece of fine art. Jake! His pupils went wide suddenly, and as he opened his mouth to speak again, you could almost hear him panting as a bit of steam wisped out from his maw. He quickly closed his mouth, gulped, and looked away for a moment. Yeah, I fucking saw that. Thank you! Koshiro quickly grabbed a spoon and shoveled several helpings of food into his mouth until his cheeks bulged out. He chewed vigorously and nearly choked when he swallowed. He stopped focusing so hard on what was outside and quickly finished everything on his plate before even you were finished. He was trying to hide something, and even you could tell how clumsily he was doing so. Still, you decided to, again, just drop it. He seemed to be back to his usual self, as though the encounter with Yusuke never happened at all. You just had to keep it that way. Man, that really was good. I have to say, you really have a knack for cooking. Koshiro couldn't hide the bashful look in his eyes, nor the way the corner of his lips curled upwards. It really was nothing. Koshiro was quick to clean up the plates before you had a chance to do anything. Probably his way of getting back at you for taking his steam of being the host of the house. You rubbed some ointment that Koshiro brought back from the village onto the bump on your forehead, and like a winter miracle, you noticed it seemed to be smaller. Though it might have been your imagination. So, now what do we do? I take it you have to prepare for when you leave tomorrow. Yes, but there are a few things that need to get done while I'm still here. Like what? Well, for one, we still have to get you situated in the village. I can't stay here? It's a dangerous journey from here to the village, as I told you. Without a path, you could get lost in the woods. And there's traps and such out there, right? What? I heard from, I just figured that there would be a lot of traps inside the village as well. Yes. I had meant to tell you earlier, but I didn't want to worry you. In hindsight, I still should have. I'm not one to follow directions anyway. I still would have wandered off despite that since you took so long. I apologize for that. Finding the pickled plums took the longest. Anyway, it's dangerous to wander out of the village alone without a guardian who knows where the traps are, and we'll need to find someone more suitable for you. And I really liked it out here, too. It's the first time that I've been in this home and have actually been happy. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there, y'all. I'm a little tired. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon, YouTube memberships if you can. It always helps. Anyway, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!